Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've been scrolling through the news lately and thinking reality feels a little bit like a dystopian sci-fi movie, trust me, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're unpacking the ultimate viral snapshot of our incredibly chaotic modern world. We are looking at a fascinating playbook of modern geopolitics, technology, and AI. It's basically a collection of the most attention-grabbing hooks, serious global tensions, and honestly, some weirdly humorous moments that perfectly define the year 2026. Fear, curiosity, humor, and wonder are all blending together in real time, and we're going to map out exactly how that looks. So let's just dive right in. Think about this for a second. Humanity has practically speed ran from using chatbots to write our emails to global superpowers having to negotiate actual robot rules. I mean, just a short while ago, the biggest news in tech was generative text. Now, these systems have grown so incredibly powerful and complex that the two largest nations on Earth have had to sit down to figure out how to put a leash on it. It's a concept straight out of science fiction, but it is the absolute reality of our current geopolitical landscape.
The exact emergency guardrails being negotiated right now really highlight the wild era we live in. They're actively trying to establish limits and safeguards for advanced AI systems, primarily because the fear of rogue AI misuse and massive cyber disruption is very, very real. And all of this is happening against the backdrop of an intense, escalating tech race, with companies like NVIDIA, OpenAI, and Google pushing the absolute boundaries of what's possible at breakneck speed. The stakes just aren't commercial anymore. We are talking about critical matters of national and global security.
But this massive tech boom has actually created an absurd physical bottleneck. The world might literally be running out of chips because everybody wants AI. You can't just build these massive hyper-intelligent data centers out of thin air. They require an insane amount of physical resources, specifically advanced semiconductors. The demand is so astronomical right now that it's causing a huge ripple effect across the entire globe, fundamentally impacting the production of everyday electronics and reshaping entirely different industries that also rely on these tiny components. It's kind of hilarious when you think about it. Everyday electronics are now competing with massive AI demands. It's funny, but it's grounded in absolute truth. We're literally in a situation where gamers, everyday consumers, and vital industries are fighting for the exact same silicon the tech giants are hoarding to build their next-generation AI models. It just perfectly highlights the strange paradox of modern life. We're rushing toward this futuristic utopia, but we are doing it by completely draining the supply chain of the very hardware that runs our current world.
Now, zoom out with me to the broader geopolitical stage for a second. Nothing says stable world order quite like billionaires, missiles, tariffs, and AI all crashing into one single meeting. On the surface, at the high-stakes Trump-Xi summit in Beijing, it's all handshakes, cameras, and forced smiles. But bubbling just beneath that surface is a cauldron of massive geopolitical tension. These leaders aren't just exchanging pleasantries. They are navigating incredibly delicate discussions surrounding AI supremacy, escalating trade wars, conflicts involving Iran, and of course, the ever-present tensions regarding Taiwan.
Geopolitics in 2026 really feels like every single one of these crises is happening at the exact same time. The world calendar basically just reads breaking news every single day. You have the active Russia-Ukraine conflict continuing to shape Eastern Europe. You've got conflicts involving Iran, disrupting vital global oil and shipping routes. You have China's ongoing warnings regarding Taiwan. And if military posturing wasn't enough, we also have countries acting almost like exes after a bad breakup over trade. We're seeing tariff escalations and friction extending all the way to the USMCA agreement with Canada. It is a dense, highly volatile mix of events where one tiny spark anywhere can trigger huge global consequences.
And then, right when the global news feels just way too heavy, we get a stark, almost absurd piece of comic relief. Even budget airlines are throwing in the towel. While world leaders are playing global chess over artificial intelligence and multi-front geopolitical conflicts, everyday people are just dealing with the chaotic reality of vanishing travel options and a remarkably weird economy.
The sheer irony of our technological priorities is on full display here. Think about it. We can get adversarial superpowers to the negotiating table to discuss the philosophical and technical boundaries of artificial superintelligence, but we still cannot seem to figure out basic, comfortable commercial air travel. It's a satirical but really sharp observation that highlights the totally uneven nature of human progress. We are sprinting into the future in some areas while completely stumbling in others.
Speaking of the economy,
100%. America's debt just surpassed the size of its entire economy. Now, in previous decades, a monumental threshold like this would have dominated the news cycle for months. Today, people barely react. Everyone just keeps scrolling, pretty much proving we now run entirely on caffeine and confidence. It shows just how desensitized we've become to massive, systemic news, mainly because we are constantly being bombarded by so many other existential headlines all at once.
But wait, because while we're all doom scrolling and arguing online, humanity is simultaneously achieving awe-inspiring things. This is where the story shifts from chaotic to genuinely hopeful. Down here on Earth, sure, it's a mess of tariff wars, meme battles, and political gridlock. We're fighting over trade while pretending everything is fine. But up there, NASA quietly and successfully executed the launch of the Artemis II mission, literally taking our species back to the moon.
This is just a beautiful illustration of our capacity for wonder. This is not just another routine satellite launch. We have sent humans farther from Earth than anyone has been since 1972. It represents the absolute most significant deep space human travel since the Apollo era. It's a powerful, cinematic reminder that for all of our earthly squabbles, human ingenuity and our deep desire to explore the cosmos remain incredibly strong.
It really is a roller coaster of fear, humor, and wonder. This thought perfectly captures the unpredictable energy of everything we've just mapped out together. One minute, it's petty internet arguments. The next, it's existential threats and historic triumphs. It truly feels like a movie script where the writers keep changing the genre every 5 pages. From the sci-fi reality of AI guardrails to the grounded geopolitical tensions of global summits, right through to the wonder of lunar exploration.
So I have to ask you, as AI evolves, global tensions rise, and astronauts head back to the moon, how will you navigate this chaotic new era? How are you processing this breaking news world? It is so easy to get overwhelmed by the sheer volume of history happening every single day. But understanding the structures behind these headlines, the technology, the diplomacy, the economics, that is your absolute best tool for making sense of it all. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep your eyes open, stay curious, and I'll catch you next time as we continue to decode the world around us.